So this is something that caught a lot of people by surprise not too long ago. Apparently, we're going to be getting a new Mana game, and it's going to be called Visions of Mana. It's supposed to be the next main entry within the Mana series. The last main entry of the Mana series came out back in 2006, which is Dawn of Mana, and that was during the PS2 era. So, like the Mana series, for the most part, is something that Square Enix has been milking for quite some time now. And like for the most part, there's nothing else that Square Enix could do with Secret of Mana or Seiken did Detsu 3 that they have not already done because those games already got 3D remakes. They both got released between 2018 and 2020. And it's not surprising that Square Enix is trying to revive the Mana series because I remember Square Enix had mentioned the possibility of reviving older IPs because they know like a lot of their new stuff isn't really it's not really connecting with casuals for the most part, and as a result, they're they're losing profits and all that stuff, and their earnings reports are not good or anything like that, and especially after Final Fantasy 16 ended up being a disappointment. It sold 3 million after its release this past summer, but at the same time it should have done a lot better. The way that game was hyped, the fact that we've had to wait since 2016 um, for Final Fantasy 16 to come out. That game should have been a bigger deal, and I do feel that if Square Enix had released that game this year, it probably would have been a bigger deal because let's face it, Final Fantasy 16 had a lot of competition this past year, and this game right here, Vision of Mana, I feel like this game has the potential to do pretty decent. I'm not exactly sure whether or not it's going to surpass Final Fantasy 16 because the Mana series was niche as it was, and unfortunately, like for the most part, some of Square Enix's most popular RPGs only appeal to a niche audience of gamers. They don't necessarily like appeal to casuals or anything like that. But as far as this game is concerned, we don't have an official release date for it. We do know it's going to appear on the PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X, Microsoft Windows, sometime between the second and third quarter of this year. And it's going to be an action RPG that's going to have real time combat. It's going to have a semi open world environment. And, um, and I think like this is something that I'm a bit shocked is it going to appear on Nintendo Switch because this looked like it's a game that's more geared towards children. I wouldn't be surprised if it has an E rating to it, and um, and for the most part, like I do feel like this game is going to stand out this year than it would if it got released last year. But I'm a bit surprised that's not being released for the Switch because I don't know, that's more for children. The PS5 and the Xbox Series X is more for adults in general. But I mean, you never know. It's something that could end up, rebooting or not rebooting, but reviving the Mana series in general. If the story's interesting, they do something different in terms of gameplay that we haven't seen any of the previous entries. It might be something that get people's attention. Um, I don't think Visions of Mana is going to, get mainstream attention. I don't think it's going to sell like, you know, 3, 4, 5, or even 6 million copies worldwide. But it's cool that Square Enix is doing something unexpected because the thing is there was no indication that this game was going to be released like a year or two ago, and I believe there was like a trailer for this game at the Game Awards in 2023. But at the same time, like I don't know, before that, I mean, we never thought we was going to get a Mana game anytime in the future for the most part. And it seemed like the Mana series was just it was just whatever. Square Enix was just living off of the older installments and the successes that they've had because more people are familiar with those. But we'll just have to see how Visions of Mana is received by critics. It'll probably be a game that critics love, but it's not going to be a commercial success or what have you. I expect it to be more popular in Japan than it would be in America, but we're just going to have to wait and see what happens once the game comes out.